Hare Krishna, please lead the invocation prayers.
Yes, Prabhuji. Om Manyanatimirandashya Jnananjala-Shalakaya Satguru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishyam Sabinam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Tadanti Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yudhapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagakana Raghunatham Pitam Chajivam Satvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lalitam Sri Vishakam Sivam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Ishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpadaru Vicha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Paditanam Pavanesho Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming. We welcome Preeti to our class today. She met Shalini at the temple. So welcome, and please feel free to ask any and all questions as we go along. I understand you are already studying a lot of advanced scriptures as well. Preeti? Okay, Preeti is somehow disconnected. Okay. We'll give Preeti a minute to join. Okay, there she is. Let's give her a minute to join. Hare Krishna, Preeti, you are able to unmute?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. So feel free to ask any and all questions. We have an open forum here. Yes, we do study philosophy, but feel free to discuss.
Okay, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. Currently, Prabhuji, at my in India, from Mumbai, I am from Mumbai. Under Mirabai Mataji, my Guru Mataji, I am doing Canto 3 and as well as Canto 1 in Hindi and Canto 3 in English. She is doing with us.
Very, very good. Very good that you already have a spiritual master. Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So today we will cover Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, from verse 21 onwards. And we'll finish this Chapter 29 as well as this unit number 13. And next week, you all will be doing your respective presentations for this unit number 13.
Okay.
So let's begin with you all explaining one or more points from last class and inquiring one or more points from before.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna.
So you regarding the homework questions, I would like to attempt to try one. You had the first question was define pure devotional service. So pure devotional service is to act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master with the only motive to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And pure devotional service is free from all material desires, anya abhilashita shunyam, and it's transcendental to all the material qualities, Prabhu.
Okay, very good. Anya Avilashita Shunyam, that is pure devotional service. Okay, what else?
Just one the shloka which you had asked to memorize, I've memorized, Prabhu. So can I try? Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.13. Salokya sashti samipya sarupya ikattvamapi uta diyamanam nagrananti vinamad sevanam janaha. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good. What's the essence of the verse?
Yes, pure devotee does not look for any of these kinds of liberation, Prabhu. Only devotion to the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. The pure devotee rejects all these kinds of liberation if devotional service is not attached with it. Okay, very good. Very good recitation as well. Uncle has to say something.
Yes, Prabhuji. I wish to add Shalini's the devotional service. In devotional service, one should follow the instructions of bona fide spiritual master and surrender in full. Reason being, they are representatives of the Lord who follow instructions of the Lord. That is most important. They are not separatists. One should not be violent, proud, envious, angry, and no separate personal interest from the Lord's interest. These are the pure devotional service attitude. Pure devotee does not accept even from the Lord any kind of liberation. Without material profit, a pure devotional service is a execution of Lord's desire. Could I add some more points what I have noted down?
Yeah, we'll get others. Yeah, we'll get others to speak, and then you can come back. Okay, rest of you.
Prabhuji, I can recite the slokas somewhat. Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Salakya sachrita samipya sarupya katvam apiyuta dhyamamanam na kritayanti vinamad sevanam janaha.
Okay, very good. Very good recitation. Okay, the rest of you.
Prabhuji, the second question I'll try, Prabhuji. Qualities of Vaishnava in order of ignorance. They are the vigilance, anger, violence, envious, and proud. They are in the mode of darkness. Passion is they desires fame, opulence, and ultimate desire results to fugitive activities. Whereas goodness do not have any desires for material entanglement or liberation. The only desire to serving the Lord.
Okay, very good points about devotional service in the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness. All right. Rest of you who have not spoken.
Prabhuji, there should not be any excuse for personal or material interest. Then a devotee is in the mode of goodness, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I ask a question? Because in this connection. So, Prabhu, the mode of goodness, it also says that one place it's saying that such activities are performed and the results are offered to the Supreme Lord. Then later it is mentioned that they act for some benefit in accordance with their personal interests. So how is it possible to have both?
Yeah. So they are referring to Nishkam Karma Yoga. If you open your yoga ladder and Nishkam Karma Yoga, you are very much close to Bhakti Yoga, means you are right at the border, you are right at the door. If you open your yoga ladder and you see the definition of Nishkam Karma Yoga, it says that you still have a tinge of doing some activity in the material world. There's just very little tinge of something for your own self. Largely, yes, you are focused on satisfying Krishna, but it's still not 100%. So that it's very fine difference, but it still is not 100%. That's why Prabhupada talks about both the points, that yes, you are largely trying to serve Krishna, but simultaneously you have a little tinge of something to do in the material world. Therefore, you are continuing to work in the material world for your own self. Shalini?
Prabhuji, so just to further understand, so in the mode of goodness is like throughout the day we are doing activities, some maybe some or more, or depending on the devotee, it can be more, most of it in the mode of goodness. Whereas when one is in pure devotional service or transcendence, the entire 24/7, like Gurudev, Shri Prabhupada, and many of the spiritual masters. So maybe for them, they are mostly in the pure devotional service at all times, Prabhu. Is that correct?
Yeah, not just mostly, 24 hours. So you said it correctly, 24 hours. So generally, you judge for yourself that say while you are awake, yes, you will try to remember Krishna as much as possible. But what are you doing when you are sleeping? But for a pure devotee, even while sleeping, they have Krishna 24 hours in their mind. They have dreams of Krishna, and so there's definitely a difference. Does that help you, Shalini?
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes.
Rest of you, any inquiries?
Prabhuji, I agree with you what you stated. In the night when I go to bed, I pray and then to Lord Krishna. But sometimes what you said happens to me. And apart from that, do you want me to continue some of my realization about defined pure devotional service?
Yeah, go ahead.
And also, the question number 2, I want to seek some clarification. So, under defined pure devotional service, my little realization is that if one does devotional service with motive, it is impure. A pure devotee who executes devotional service without expectations of reward. This is my conclusion on that, I realized.
You are correct.
The second one is list qualities of Vaishnavas in orders of ignorance, passion, and goodness. I wanted to clarify, Chandra has explained all those 3. But there is one sector, the mixed, in which a devotee or devotees mixed are in the modes of ignorance and passion. So that is the 4th segment which is coming apart from 3. They think that their interest of Supreme Lord is supplying the orders of the devotees and draw as much as possible for sense gratification, whose interest is different from Lord's sense. They are called separatists. So this is the 4th segment, I feel. Am I right in saying that?
So it's not about 4th segment. Understand that these modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness, we all have all 3 modes. It's not that we only have one mode. It's not that we will be acting in only one of the modes. It's just that one of the mode will be predominant. So if somebody is in ignorance, he will have more of the characteristics of ignorance. Or if somebody is passion, meaning the passion is dominant among the 3 modes, then their focus will be largely according to passion. But that does not mean that there are different further categories. It's just that the combination of the 3 modes will vary for each one of us. Okay.
Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you.
All right. Any last questions, comments, realizations? Okay. So
I wanted to seek your advice. The third question is about yourself. Bring your realization.
yeah, we'll come to that when we reach the verses. We'll come to that point.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Prabhuji, so that means even a person who is in ignorance has some level of goodness in him?
You are correct. All of us have all three modes. It's just that somebody in ignorance will have ignorance as dominant, but that does not mean he does not have goodness. No, he will have goodness also, just in small portion.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, while doing book distribution, we can help them out to buy these books, and if they can read 1 or 2 pages, so somehow they can become Krishna conscious sooner or later.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. You definitely have the right book distribution mindset, that give them a small book if they are generally who is ignorant. If you give him Bhagavad Gita, he'll be like, no, I cannot read. I don't have that much patience to read that big a book.
Yes.
Therefore, we have these smaller books. They say, okay, I mean, for somebody in ignorance, you can just give him perfect question, perfect answer. That's a very, very good book to give him at the start.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very good.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very good inquiry. Okay, so we'll continue from Canto 3, Chapter 29, verse 21 onwards. So just to set the context and a recap as to where we are. So upon Devahuti's inquiry about different types of bhakti, Lord Kapila described bhakti in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, which you all also correctly recapped. In Bhagavad Gita 7.16, Krishna describes that 4 kinds of people come to Krishna. Therefore, the goal, the taste, and the mentality of all these people is different. Hence, they perform bhakti under different modes. Now, bhakti does not get contaminated by ignorance, passion, or goodness. Bhakti always stays transcendental. Rather, the performer of bhakti possesses the qualities of ignorance, passion, and goodness. And then Lord Kapila also explains about pure bhakti, which some of you also correctly recapped. Lord Kapila explains that lack of material desires in pure devotees is pure bhakti. Lord Kapila also explains that simply by hearing about the pastimes of the Lord, one comes to the level of pure devotional service. So Lord Kapila explained about devotion in the modes and then pure bhakti. So the next part is again a logical next step, that part 3 is verses 21 to 27. Title is Offenses Are Obstacles in Bhakti and Its Solution. So in this section 3, Lord Kapila describes that offenses are the obstacles in reaching to pure devotional level, as well as he also provides the solution. In practice of bhakti, offenses create restrictions. Offenses generally come from disrespect of devotees. So we have discussed offenses to avoid class multiple times. Many of you have attended the offenses to avoid classes multiple times, and we have discussed that to avoid offenses, we should respect all living entities. So these all living entities will again come up. Lord Kapila will describe about all living entities in upcoming verses. So we'll come to that very soon. Shivangi, verse 21, 22 translation.
Hare Krishna, verse 21. I am present in every living entity as a supersoul. If someone neglects or disregards that supersoul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. One who worships the deity of Godhead in the temples but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes.
So Lord Kapila is describing here Kanishta Adhikari. So we have discussed at great length throughout our various other scriptural study that Kanishta Adhikari gives respect to Gopinath at the temple, but does not respect devotees. He does not know Paramatma is in everyone's heart. Now, just because somebody is Kanishta Adhikari does not mean that the Kanishta Adhikari should stop Gopinath worship. No, he should continue. Rather, simultaneously, he should also try to develop the qualities of Madhyam Adhikari side by side. So we have discussed this at great length when we were discussing Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari, that these levels are not for us to judge others. These levels of Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam Adhikari are for ourselves. That are we moving in the right direction towards becoming a Madhyam Adhikari or not? Questions, comments, realizations? So verses 21 and 22 was about disregard of Paramatma in others. So Lord Kapila is explaining about offenses. And now verse number 23 is about hatred of others. Kalyani, verse 23 translation.
Hare Krishna. One who offers me respect but is envious of the bodies of others and is therefore a separatist never attains peace of mind because of his inimical behavior towards other living entities. Hare Krishna.
So hatred, all these are offenses, right? So this is the situation of tamasic devotee, that he is engaged in the process of devotion, but he is also envious. Therefore, he will not relish pure devotion. And in verse number 24, is about criticism of others. Mother Jija, 24 translation.
Text 24. My dear mother, even if he worships with proper rituals and paraphernalia, a person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by the worship of my deities in the temple. Hare Krishna.
So what is the problem of such envious devotees? That he cannot experience peace because envious of others internally, in passion, he will always be disturbed. So let's finish reading up to verse number 27 and then we will have practical discussion about offenses. Shalini, 25 to 27. So now comes the solution. So we are first reading the verses and we'll come discussing the practical points of all this.
Hare Krishna. Verse 25. Performing his prescribed duties, one should worship the deity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead until one realizes my presence in his own heart and in the hearts of other living entities as well. Text 26. As the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of a differential outlook. Text 27. Therefore, through charitable gifts and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, and by viewing all to be alike, one should propitiate me, who abide in all creatures as their very self. Hare Krishna.
So we have discussed the offenses. Lord Kapila clearly described that if you criticize somebody, if you hate somebody, to disregard Paramatma in others, well, you are offensive to the Lord as well as to the devotees. And he gives the solution that you should recognize the Paramatma in everyone and be respectful to others. So I had given this homework spiritual endeavor last class, that observe yourself from verses 8, 9, and 10 discussion about devotional services in the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness, and bring your realization. So now we'll discuss the practical points where you all will explain that what are your realizations from the homework spiritual endeavor, that in pride, what one does to others without even realizing. Just as when you go to learn the driving a vehicle, they ask you a question, how to be a bad driver. Now, this question of how to be a bad driver at a driving school is not to make you a bad driver. Rather, it is to make you aware that you might end up doing something consciously or subconsciously. Similarly, I'm asking a similar question where you all, 100% of you, will answer, what are some of the examples of activity or thought process when somebody is in pride? We have definitely discussed examples in Bhagavad Gita 5.29 as well as in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, verse 26 about the Maryada Vratikama discussion. Everybody, please try to answer. What are some examples of activity or thought process when somebody is in pride?
Prabhuji, I personally experienced the mode of ignorance and passion. I used to be proud and I was in the mode of darkness. Now I realize that. And unlimited desires in things, belongings, which resulted in some of the activities are not desirable. But goodness, part of it. Sometimes I used to be truthful, compassionate, kind, and occasionally humble. But I always respected every jiva, even in the animals, with compassion, not to kill. This is my realization.
Okay, I want examples of activity or thought process when somebody is proud. Everybody, please answer.
They try to do more than, suppose a person has done something, the proud person will wanted to show, I can do better than that person.
Yeah, show off. Okay, very good. Like they will put themselves in front. Okay, very good. Perfect example. Every rest of you?
Prabhu, okay.
Yeah.
Ma
Go ahead,
Mataji,
ma'am.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Kalyani, go ahead.
Basically, sometimes we often look others rather than looking into ourselves.
Mhm.
So, knowing all these modes, we sometimes judge others,
Yeah.
whether they're in the mode of ignorance or passion or whatever. And after judging, also our perception, as it comes, that we will not be able to treat equally sometimes, because
Yeah.
the judgment is something where our perception changes, and uh, we can't handle how to really treat them equally.
Yeah, very good. So this treating equally is upcoming verse very soon today. Now, this Kalyani also mentioned this very important point that we try to judge others. Arey Baba, the scriptures first apply on yourself. if you cannot apply the scriptures for yourself, then why are you applying on others? So very good point. Okay, rest of you. So again, all these examples are meant for ourselves. Okay, Shalini wanted to say something.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So just wanted to add, Prabhu, I mean, when one is in pride, one wants to take full credit of whatever little which is done, and want other people to respect us totally, Prabhu.
Yeah, very good. Respect. So if you recall Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 discussion, that's exactly what we have discussed, the qualities of demons. That pride means that he wants to show off even when there is no reason to show off. Very good. Shivangi.
Thinking that you're like the only devotee, Prabhuji, and that you're the only one who has some kind of affection for Krishna, like that kind of thinking.
Yeah, very good. I am the only devotee. Are Baba, we have discussed so many times that everybody else is a devotee except me. But in my pride, I think, look, who am I? Look at me. Okay, very good. Rest of you?
Prabhuji, bragging about the seva or service, whatever they're doing in the temple.
Yeah, very good. Bragging, yeah. That not realizing that Krishna will take away the service in an instant. Service is by the mercy of devotees and by mercy of Srimati Radha Rani. Who am I to be able to do anything? Very good.
Yeah.
Rest of you who have not spoken, some examples of pride, and I'll come back to discussing all this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think maybe it is already said, like the jaws of pride will come in this, Prabhu. People in the mode of goodness are thinking we are doing so many good things, we are doing to maybe elevate poverty and so on and so forth. And then, they are getting puffed up, Prabhu. That's what
The jaws of pride. We have discussed at great length that mode of goodness is very dangerous. That this pride is such a sneaky anartha that you think you crossed so many good points, but you actually walk right into the jaws of pride. So let me summarize. My intent about this discussion is not to pinpoint on anyone, but my intention is to make us conscious that we should not be doing these activities knowingly or unknowingly. So just as you will become a drunkard by associating with a drunkard, similarly, another example is that if you associate with someone who is offensive, well, you are also going to become offensive. So be very cautious that with whom you associate with. So all these points that we are studying from scriptures, we have to learn to protect ourselves. We have to find a fence. We have to find the proper devotee association so that we don't associate with offensive devotees. Yes, those are still devotees. We say Hare Krishna with folded hands and move on. We don't associate with them. We discussed this in at our previous class, exactly what Lord Kapil has said. Don't associate with those devotees. Yes, they are devotees, but don't associate. We have discussed this same point in Nectar of Instruction, text number 2 and 3. Specifically, it states, not only states, but it emphasizes by the repetition to give up the association of materialistic people. So just visualize, whether you are doing this or not, that if a materialistic person interacts with you and you also reciprocate in a materialistic way, Well, then you took his association of this materialistic person. The result will be lust, anger, and greed, etc., which the materialistic person has. So let's come to the solution. You all already correctly pointed out about the symptoms that when somebody is proud or is associating with offensive people or is associating with materialistic people. So you correctly pointed out the symptoms. Let's discuss the solution and then we'll pause and reflect. So the solution to not be proud, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described in Shikshashtakam, that be humble. He has given 4 points. Be humble, be tolerant, give respect to others, and do not expect respect from anyone. Now, here's a punchline. I want every one of you to put this in bold and paste it on your board or on your fridge somewhere. The punchline is, if you cannot respect someone, at least do not disrespect. I'll repeat. If you cannot respect someone, at least do not disrespect. Be like Lord Ram's brother Bharat. Bharat did not become a boss even when he was asked to be a boss. Now, we are studying Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, so the Ramayana pastimes, not everybody might have studied, but I will briefly explain that for 14 years, while Lord Ram was in exile, Bharat took rest in a hole created in a ground to emphasize that if Lord Ram is sleeping on the ground in the forest, then I have to be one step lower. So the other point, that when Lord Ram returned after exile, Lord Ram asked one question to Bharat. Are the trees respected? So if non-moving trees are respected, then everyone else will generally be respected. So this is upcoming in the next set of verses that we'll discuss about the gradation of jivas. So be a servant rather than trying to be a doer. Be last in line. Don't be puffed up. Don't show off in front of anybody and everybody. So our internal attitude should be to give respects to all parts of Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Supreme Personality of Godhead is in everyone. Therefore, in the next section, the next set of verses, Lord Kapila gives the gradation of all jivas. I will pause here and let everyone reflect on our discussion about offenses and the solution. So you all had the homework question from last class to observe yourself and bring your realization. Now it's possible that could be a challenge discussing your realization. So I don't want to put anyone in a difficult spot, but observe yourself continuously. These are not my words. These are Lord Kapila himself speaking. Lord Kapila is Krishna himself. He's saying, don't be offensive. Everybody on the same page in terms of solution? Somebody wants to explain some key points?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. for me, what has really struck, which, I have to constantly remind myself, is to give respect to others and do not expect anything from anybody. This is for me personally. I just keep, there is some kind of expectations from close ones, and then there is, we're not satisfied when reciprocation doesn't happen. So not to have any expectation at all, just to keep doing. Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rest of you. Everybody on the same page?
Yeah, Prabhuji, if you don't expect from others, it will be peaceful. When you expect only, you get agitated.
Okay, very good. Shivangi?
I realize why I don't have peace of mind, Prabhuji. I think I fall in the tamasic devotee category, so it's nice to know the reason why.
Okay, very good, bold realization. But that is actually the nature of a pure devotee, that they think that they are lowest. But again, it's for us to apply. I'm not here to say anybody is in which mode. All these are for ourselves to apply ourselves. Don't apply all these on others. Okay, very good. Kalyani?
Challenging part comes when we need to deal the people who criticizes us and how to take it, pursue in a way that we can again still be not offensive with them.
Yeah, so we have discussed this at great length at the start of Canto 3, that as well as this is described in Canto 1 in chapters 17 and 18, that somebody does something wrong to me, the Vaishnava etiquette is that they learn to tolerate and try to remember Krishna, that without Krishna's sanction, nobody can do anything wrong to me. So wrong does not just mean somebody physically doing something wrong to me. Wrong also means that somebody is saying something wrong. That is in the same category. So we don't react to that, and this is described at great length by the example of Parikshit Maharaj in Canto 1, chapter 18, verse number 48, where the personal defamation, the devotee does not react at all. He simply focuses, oh, this is because of my past bad karma. And if somebody does something wrong to Krishna or to his devotees, then the devotee stands up and does not tolerate. So I will bring up the slide on screen from offenses to avoid class, where we have discussed this, that what do you do when somebody commits an offense against you. So I have described this, the same point in Canto 1, chapter 18, verse number 48. I just want somebody to read the last point on the screen, which is highlighted in yellow. Who wants to read from the screen?
I'll read, Prabhuji. But a powerful devotee never misuses the power for personal benefit. Whatever power the devotee may have is always utilized in service towards the Lord and his devotees only. Key point, devotees are never inclined to counteract personal defamation.
Right. So if this is personal defamation, I don't need to react. Kalyani?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Can you elaborate personal defamation, Prabhuji, here in this
somebody
context?
says something wrong to you, somebody does something wrong to you. Those are personal defamations. It does not mean that somebody physically hurts you that you will not try to stop. No, you will first try to stop. It's just that what Kalyani was describing, that somebody says something which is incorrect, or is trying to verbally abuse you, those are personal defamation, and we just learn to tolerate.
Is that like blaming you for what you have not done?
Correct? That is one example. All right. So Lord Kapila asked to respect all jivas. Therefore, in the next set of verses, Lord Kapila gives a gradation of jivas. So part 4 is verses 28 to 36, which is gradation of all jivas. So I will show a slide on screen for these verses before we read the verses. After the slide, the reading of the verses will become easier. So follow the screen. So it will start from the bottom and we are going up and up and up. At the very bottom, the gradation of the jiva starts with inanimate objects. Then you have living movable entities, then entities with greater symptoms, then entities with developed consciousness, then entities with sense perception. So there will be these colored boxes in a couple of them. The colored boxes signify a next category or a next higher level of gradation of jivas. Then next is beings with touch sensation or beings with taste sensation, then beings with sense of smell, and beings who can hear. So all these are going upwards, means the inanimate objects are the lowest, and as we keep going up, their consciousness is getting higher and higher and higher. Then in the same category, there are further categories that beings who can hear, beings who distinguish forms, entities with 2 sets of teeth, beings with many legs, and animals with 4 legs. Then comes humans. So humans are also split into categories, that non-varnashram humans, meaning materialistic people, and then you have varnashram humans. Then the category of brahmanas, that brahmana who knows Vedas, brahmana who know the meaning of Vedas, brahmana who can dispel doubt, and brahmanas who follow his duties. And then comes liberated and pure devotee. So what Lord Kapila is saying is respect every single one, starting from inanimate objects. Therefore, I give the example that when Lord Ram returned from his exile, he simply asked, are the trees respected? So take a snapshot of this, and as we read verses, I'll play the slide again, and the verses will make sense. So the verses are straightforward. It just is a listing of all these jivas in the various grades. I'll pause here for any questions, comments, realizations.
The fourth block, up to pure devotees from Brahmanas, very clearly defines people who interpret about Brahmanas, or people who are Brahmanas who do not know. But it very clearly says, who knows Vedas, who knows the meaning of the Vedas, who can dispel doubts, follow duty, liberated person, and then beautiful illustration, Prabhuji.
Yeah, and when you read the purport, in the purport, Prabhupada explains all categories. So it's going to be a part of your spiritual endeavor for today. You'll read all these purports where examples for each one of them is given. So Uncle can read verses 28 to 32 translation, and I'll play the slide again in so that we can follow the verses. Uncle?
I'm sorry. I have unmuted now. Sorry. Hare Krishna, text 28. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects. O blessed mother, and among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animals with developed consciousness are better than them, and better still are those who have developed sense perception. Text 29. Among the living entities who have developed sense perception, those who have developed the sense of taste are better than those who have developed only the sense of touch. Better than them are those who have developed the sense of smell, and better still are those who have developed the sense of hearing. Text 30. Better than those living entities who can perceive sound are those who can distinguish between one form and another. Better than them are those who have developed upper and lower sets of teeth, and better still are those who have many legs. Better than them are the quadrupeds, and better still are the human beings. Text 31. Among human beings, the society which is divided according to quality and work is best. And in that society, the intelligent men who are designated as Brahmanas are the best. Among the Brahmanas, one who has studied the Vedas is the best. And among the Brahmanas who have studied the Vedas, one who knows the actual purport of Veda is the best. Text 32 also you wanted me to read, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Better than text 32. Better than the Brahmana who knows the purpose of the Vedas is he who can dissipate all doubts, and better than him is one who strictly follows the Brahminical principles. Better than him is one who is liberated from all material contamination, and better than him is a pure devotee who executes devotional service without expectation of reward. Hare Krishna.
Okay, questions, comments, realizations? Take a snapshot of the chart, and the verses were pretty straightforward that way. Okay, so in verse number 28, Srila Prabhupada explains so that just because you treat everyone equal does not mean reciprocation is equal. And Prabhupada gives the example of a tiger, that yes, you see Paramatma within a tiger, but that does not mean you will go and hug a tiger. Rather, give prasadam to a tiger from a distance. Therefore, treating everyone equal does not mean reciprocation is equal. Gopal Prabhu, if you want to read verse 28 purport.
Hare Krishna. Text 28 purport. In the previous verse, it was explained that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse and in the following verses, the description of different grades of living entities is given so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity. For example, a tiger is a living entity, part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Lord is living in the heart of the tiger as a super soul. But does this mean that we have to treat the tiger in a friendly manner? Certainly not. We have to treat him differently, giving him charity in the form of prasada. The many saintly persons in the jungles do not treat the tigers in a friendly way, but they supply prasada foodstuffs to them. The tigers come, take the food and go away, just as dogs go. Dog does, sorry. According to the Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house. Because of their uncleanliness, cats and dogs are not allowed within the apartment of a gentleman. but are so trained that they stand outside. The compassionate householder will supply prasada to the dogs and cats who eat outside and then go away. We must treat the lower living entities compassionately, but this does not mean that we have to treat them in the same way we treat other human beings. The feelings of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. Just how discrimination should be maintained is given in the following 6 verses concerning the different grades of living conditions. The first division is made between dead, stone-like matter and living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of the soul within the stone. Above that, the next manifestation of living condition is development of consciousness, and the next manifestation is the development of sense perception. In the Moksha Dharma section of Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perception. They can see and smell. We know by experience that trees can see. Sometimes in its growth, a large tree changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. This means that a tree can see, and according to Mahabharata, a tree can also smell. This indicates the development of sense perception. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good. Questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This chart is very helpful, Prabhu, to summarize everything.
Yeah, Acharyas have given us, and I'm just sharing with everyone. Okay.
In fact, I feel, Prabhuji, this beautiful chart in the front page every day we should see without fail.
Yeah. All right. Preeti, are you able to read verses 33 to 36 translation? They're pretty straightforward.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. 36 to 30?
33 to 36.
33. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Text 33. Translation by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ji. Therefore, I do not find a greater person than he who has no interest outside of mine, and who therefore engages and dedicates all his activities and all his life, everything unto me without cessation. Text 34. Such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as a super soul or the controller. Text 35. My dear mother, O daughter of Manu, a devotee who applies the science of devotional service and mystic yoga in this way can achieve the award of Supreme Person simply by that devotional service. Text 36. This Purusha, whom the individual soul must approach, is the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Brahman and the Paramatma. He is the transcendental chief personality, and his activities are all spiritual.
All right, pretty straightforward verses. Questions, comments, realizations? Okay. So the last part of this chapter, Lord Kapila answers Devahuti's question number 6 from 3.29.4 about time. So part 5 is verses 37 to 45. Title is Nature of Time. I request all of you to please correct verses for part 5. The correct verses are 37 to 45. I have previously wrongly stated part 5 as 37 to 34. Sorry, my mistake. Now these verses are pretty straightforward. We'll read and I will explain the characteristics that are described in these verses. Mother Jija, 37 translation.
Verse 37. The time factor who causes the transformation of the various material manifestations is another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who does not know that time is the same Supreme Personality is afraid of the time factor. Hare Krishna.
So from these 37 to 45 verses, there are 18 points, and I will explain all these points in sequence. So 37 has 1 and 2. First point is time causes transformation of various material manifestation. Second, time is another feature of Supreme Lord. One who does not know this is afraid of the time factor. Shalini, 38.
Hare Krishna. Text 38. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, is the time factor and the master of all masters. He enters everyone's heart. He is the support of everyone, and he causes every being to be annihilated by another. Hare Krishna.
So the key points from 38, that time is shelter of everyone. It's number 3. Then number 4, time enters everyone's heart. Number 5, time is master of all masters. Number 6, time causes every being to be annihilated by another. Kalyani, 39.
Text 39. No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend. But he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroy those who have. Hare Krishna.
So from 39, point number 7 is time holds no one dear. No one is enemy, no one is friend. But 8, time gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have forgotten. Shivangi, 40. Shivangi, unmute.
Hare Krishna. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the wind blows. Out of fear of him, the sun shines. Out of fear of him, the rain pours forth showers. And out of fear of him, the host of heavenly bodies shed their luster.
So point number 9 in sequence is that all demigods controlling nature perform their respective functions. Preeti, 41 to 43 translations.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 41. Translation. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the trees, creepers, herbs, and seasonal plants, and flowers blossom and fructify each in its own season. Text 42. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the rivers and the oceans never flow. Out of the fear of him only does fire burn, and does the earth with its mountains not sink in the water of the universe. Text 43. Subject to the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sky allows outer space to accommodate all the various planets, which holds the innumerable living entities. The total universal body expands with its 7 coverings under his supreme control.
So point number 10 is all trees and creepers produce fruits and flowers. Number 11 from number 42 verses, rivers flow, oceans do not overflow, fire burns, and earth does not sink, all due to fear of time. 43, which is 12th point, that sky provides space and accommodates all planets. This is because of time. And number 13 is universal body expands with its 7 coverings because of time. Kalyani, 44, 45 translations.
Text 44. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the directing demigods in charge of the modes of material nature carry out the functions of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Everything animate and inanimate within this material world is under their control. Text 45. The eternal time factor has no beginning and no end. It is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the marker of the criminal world. It brings about the end of the phenomenal world. It carries on the work of creation by bringing one individual into existence from another, and likewise it dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamaraja. Hare Krishna.
So point number 14 from verse 44 is that guna avatars carry out creation, maintenance, and destruction. And rest of the points are from verse 45. So 15th point is time is unchanging. 16th is time is without beginning, but causes everyone's birth. 17th point is time is without end, but causes everyone's end. And 18th point, time dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamraj. Questions, comments, realizations?
Prabhuji, I want to know one thing.
Mhm.
As it is said here that it dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death. But Yamraj is one of the Mahajans, Prabhu.
Yeah, you are correct. So, Yamraj, while he is in the material world, he has a particular role to play. So, Yamraj is definitely eternal as a soul level. But while he is in the material world as Yamraj, so whatever role he is playing, whatever is surrounding him, that all gets destroyed. Him as soul, that stays eternal.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Being in material world, he gets destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Thank
Very good. Very good hearing with rapt attention.
Prabhuji, the last 18th point, please.
Yeah, the 18th point is time dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamraj. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 29th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Explanation of Devotional Service by Lord Kapila. And we have also completed this unit number 13, which is Kapila Siksha Part 1. So, can somebody please explain to everyone and specifically to Preeti what you all will be doing next week?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, you have here you have given this Excel sheet for all of us to populate. So we have completed unit number 12. So you've divided the chapters from 25 to 29, section wise, and each devotee, and you've divided between the number of devotees in a class, and each one of us has to make a selection as to which particular part which we have to present. And the time is also given to us. It's within the time limit, we are supposed to prepare and we are supposed to speak, Prabhu.
Okay, very good. So all devotees will do their respective presentations. So I request Kalyani and Sridhar Prabhu to please select the two open slots that are there, number 1 and number 3. Kalyani and Sridhar Prabhu, you'll be able to do that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Will do.
Prabhuji. Can you
Perfect.
just assign first part to Kalyani and third one to me? Because I'm not able to update on my phone.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. And then for each chapter, I will also give a quick summary. So the purpose for Preeti specifically. So the purpose of doing this presentation is to try to recap and try to remember whatever we are discussing. So we are not just reading Srimad Bhagavatam to put a tick mark. No, we are supposed to remember and apply whatever we are learning. And this is one of the way to apply, remember and apply everything. Preeti, on the same page?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. I'm looking at the slide. Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. So I request all of you that your presentations, you stick to your time. So you will notice that at the bottom, I have the time calculation. There is no room for extending the time. So try your best to stick to your time. I mean, you all are now seasoned in your presentations. Well, you can just ensure that you don't cross the time. Any questions, comments, realizations? So I will not give any homework questions, spiritual endeavor questions, because you anyway have to prepare for your presentation. You anyway have the continuous process of meditation from this chapter, as well as the observing yourself. So meditation was in the previous chapter, not this chapter, previous chapter. And the observing yourself, that you don't become proud, give respect to everyone, and judge whether you are experiencing ecstasy when you hear, say, lectures from pure devotee, or say when you hear lectures from Srila Prabhupada. Preeti, I understand you are planning to come for service tomorrow at the temple.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I request you to please speak to me today so as to prepare how to come for services. So rest of the devotees are knowing all the processes. I mean, you are, from what you have described so far and what Shalini has described about you,
Yes.
I think you already know, but I want to just ensure that we are all on the same page. So I request you to please call me anytime today after 12 noon.
Okay, Prabhuji.
You can message what time works for you, and then we can just briefly discuss terms of what we should be doing and what we should not be doing while doing services.
Oh, yeah, Prabhuji.
Because service is not a mechanical task. Service is more about trying to purify ourselves, trying to do these services with proper mood.
Yes. Yeah. I'll call you up, Prabhuji. I'll send a message and then we can decide on our time.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Any questions, comments, realizations? Are we okay to stop here? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.